Shakira's journey to a chaotic adulthood began in her childhood home. She was the only child of Nkechi and Okechukwu, a middle-class couple in a bustling Nigerian town. Nkechi, her mother, was a gentle but overly lenient woman. She believed children should never endure the hardships of adulthood, even when it came to chores. Shakira, leave the plates alone. Go and watch your cartoons, Nkechi often said, smiling as she washed the dishes herself. At first, Okechukwu would protest. Nkechi, let the girl help. She needs to learn these things. But Nkechi would wave him off. She's just a child, Okechukwu. Let her enjoy her youth. She has her whole life to worry about cleaning. Shakira grew up in a home where she was pampered endlessly. Nkechi did everything: cooking, cleaning, and even picking up after her daughter. The only responsibility Shakira had was to eat her meals and go to school. While her peers learned how to sweep floors and wash clothes, Shakira spent her evenings watching cartoons, snacking on chips, and leaving wrappers scattered on the couch. By the time Shakira turned 10, her bad habits were firmly entrenched. Her room was a disaster zone. Dirty clothes covered the floor, schoolbooks lay buried under piles of wrappers, and the air always had a faint, unpleasant odor. Nkechi would step into the room, sigh, and clean up without a word of reprimand. One afternoon, Okechukwu came home early and found Nkechi scrubbing the floor of Shakira's room. His face darkened as he watched his wife work while Shakira sat on the bed, eating fried plantains. Nkechi, he barked. Why are you doing this? Why isn't Shakira cleaning her own room? She's still young, Nkechi replied, wiping sweat from her forehead. It's easier if I do it. Okechukwu pointed at Shakira. You're spoiling her. One day, you'll regret this. But Nkechi didn't listen. Over time, Shakira became lazier and more dependent on her mother's care. By her teenage years, Shakira's habits worsened. She was overweight, not because of any medical condition, but because she refused to exercise and constantly ate junk food. Her weaving was always messy, with stray braids sticking out and lint clinging to the strands. Her clothes were often stained or too tight, but Nkechi never corrected her. When Nkechi's friends visited, they would whisper about Shakira's appearance. Oh, Nkechi, your daughter is growing big. Oh, one friend remarked tactfully, she's just healthy. Nkechi replied, smiling. A sign of good living. But deep down, even Nkechi knew something was wrong. Shakira avoided household chores, rarely bathed, and refused to help with anything. She spent her days watching television, chatting on her phone, and eating. One day, Okechukwu couldn't take it anymore. Nkechi, if you don't teach this girl discipline now, you'll regret it when she's older. But Nkechi only shrugged. She's my only child. Let her be. When Shakira turned 18, she moved out of her parents' home to attend a local university. Nkechi cried as she packed Shakira's belongings. Remember, if you need anything, just call me. And don't worry about cooking or cleaning, I'll visit often. At university, Shakira's lack of discipline became glaringly obvious. Her roommates complained about her messiness. She would leave her dirty clothes piled in a corner, ignore shared chores, and eat food without cleaning up after herself. Shakira, this isn't your mother's house. One roommate snapped after finding unwashed plates in the sink for the third day in a row. Shakira only laughed. Relax. It's not that serious. Eventually, her roommate stopped talking to her, and Shakira lived in isolation. She didn't care. Her world revolved around her phone, snacks, and social media. By the time Shakira was 23, her lifestyle hadn't improved. Her habit of neglecting her hygiene and responsibilities had isolated her from many potential friendships. However, fate had a strange way of working. At a neighborhood party, Shakira met Lukee, a fit, charming man with a reputation for his discipline and hard-working nature, Lukee noticed Shakira because of her confident laughter and bubbly personality. At the party, she wore a bright yellow dress that was slightly too tight, paired with loosely tied weaving. Her carefree attitude intrigued Lukee, who thought she was merely fun-loving and bold. They struck up a conversation, and despite Shakira's shortcomings, Lukee found himself drawn to her sense of humor and boldness. He overlooked her disheveled appearance, thinking it was a one-off occurrence. Over the next few weeks, they began dating. Shakira would often wear casual outfits, leggings and oversized t-shirts, but Lukee didn't mind. He believed he could help her become more responsible. After all, no one was perfect. After a year of dating, Lukee proposed to Shakira, believing love could overcome any challenges. Shakira excitedly said yes, though deep down, she didn't feel the need to change her habits. During the engagement period, Lukee began noticing little things that concerned him: Shakira's reluctance to help him clean his apartment or cook meals when she visited. "Shakira, can you wash the plates before you leave?" Lukee asked one evening after dinner. Shakira waved him off. "Why? You can do it later. Let's watch TV instead." Lukee hesitated but didn't push further. He thought marriage would bring out a more responsible side of her. Meanwhile, Shakira's mother Nkechi praised her, saying, "You're so lucky to have a man like Lukee. He'll take care of you." Shakira's wedding day was a mix of joy and chaos. She arrived at the venue nearly an hour late, her hair in a rush bun, and her gown slightly wrinkled. Nkechi had to help her get ready, as Shakira couldn't organize herself. Despite the delays, Lukee smiled as Shakira walked down the aisle, still believing in their future together. The reception was lively, but some guests whispered about Shakira's disheveled appearance. Her bridesmaids, who had struggled to manage her throughout the day, sighed with relief once the event ended. That night, Lukee's excitement was overshadowed by disappointment when Shakira left her wedding gown on the floor and climbed into bed without taking a bath. "It's been a long day," she said, yawning. The first few weeks of marriage tested Lukee's patience. Shakira refused to adjust to her new role as a wife. The house was constantly messy, with dirty plates piling up in the sink and laundry left untouched. Lukee tried to address it gently. "Shakira, can we set a schedule for chores?" he asked one evening. "Chores? You know I'm not good at that," Shakira replied with a laugh. "You're so organized, why don't you handle it?" Despite her excuses, Lukee continued to clean up after her. He hoped she would eventually step up, but her habits only worsened. Shakira would go days without bathing, and the house began to smell unpleasant. Shakira and Lukee welcomed their son, Malik, into the world a year after their wedding. While Lukee hoped parenthood would bring out a more responsible side of Shakira, it only added to the chaos. Shakira avoided caring for Malik, leaving most of the responsibility to Lukee. The house became even messier as Shakira ignored Malik's needs, leaving diapers unattended and toys scattered everywhere. Lukee tried to manage, but his frustration grew daily. One evening, he confronted her. "Shakira, this isn't fair. I can't do everything alone. You need to help." Shakira rolled her eyes. "You're overreacting. Malik is fine, and the house doesn't need to be perfect." Lukee eventually reached his breaking point. One day, after returning home to find the house in utter disarray and Malik crying from hunger, he decided he couldn't continue. He packed his belongings and told Shakira, "I can't live like this anymore. I've tried, but you won't change." Shakira was stunned. "You're leaving me? Over some dirty dishes?" "This isn't about dishes, Shakira. It's about you not caring," Lukee replied, his voice filled with exhaustion. Soon after, Lukee filed for divorce and gained custody of Malik. Shakira returned to her parents' house, where her father, Okechukwu, finally confronted her. "You see what your mother's pampering has done," he said. "Now, you must change." Returning to her childhood home was a humiliating experience for Shakira. Her father, Okechukwu, who had always been a man of discipline, refused to let her fall back into her old habits. Unlike Nkechi, who still attempted to pamper Shakira, Okechukwu put his foot down. "You're not a child anymore," he said firmly. "If you're going to live here, you'll contribute. No more excuses." Shakira scoffed at first. "Contribute? I'm your daughter. I just need some time to figure things out." "Figure things out?" Okechukwu's voice was stern. "You've already lost your marriage because of this attitude. Enough is enough." That night, Shakira sat in her room, staring at the mess she had already created in just a day. For the first time, she felt a pang of shame. Her father's words echoed in her mind, and she realized she had no one left to clean up after her. The next morning, Okechukwu handed Shakira a broom and pointed to the living room. "Start cleaning. And after this, you'll wash the dishes and mop the floor." "What? Me?" Shakira exclaimed, staring at the broom as though it were a foreign object. "Yes, you," Okechukwu replied. "Your mother won't save you this time." Reluctantly, Shakira began sweeping. It was a slow and clumsy process, as she had never done it before. By the time she finished, her arms ached, and her back was sore. "You're not done yet," her father said, handing her a bucket of water and a mop. For weeks, Okechukwu kept Shakira on a strict routine. She was responsible for cleaning, cooking, and even running errands. Nkechi initially protested but eventually gave in, realizing her husband was right. As the weeks went by, Shakira began to reflect on her life. Each chore reminded her of how much she had taken for granted. She thought about Lukee and Malik and how she had failed them. One evening, while washing dishes, she broke down in tears. Nkechi found her crying and gently placed a hand on her shoulder. "What's wrong, my daughter?" Nkechi asked. "I ruined everything," Shakira sobbed. "I pushed Lukee away, and I wasn't there for Malik. I don't even know how to fix this." Nkechi hugged her. "It's not too late, Shakira. You can change. But you must be willing to put in the effort." Shakira nodded, wiping her tears. She decided she would not let her past define her future. Determined to turn her life around, Shakira started setting goals for herself. She woke up early, cleaned the house without being told, and even began cooking meals for her parents. At first, her efforts were clumsy. She burned rice, oversalted the soup, and struggled to keep up with chores. But with practice, she improved. One day, Okechukwu walked into the kitchen and found Shakira preparing jollof rice. The aroma filled the air, and for the first time, he smiled at her. "You've come a long way, Shakira," he said. "Thank you, Papa," she replied, her heart swelling with pride. Shakira also started taking better care of herself. She styled her weaving neatly, began exercising, and wore clean, well-fitted clothes. Slowly, she regained her confidence. With her newfound skills, Shakira decided to start a small cleaning business. She advertised her services on social media, sharing her story to inspire others. People were drawn to her honesty and determination. Her first client was a neighbor, who was so impressed with her work that she recommended Shakira to others. Soon, Shakira's business began to grow. She hired a few helpers and expanded her services to include organizing and home makeovers. Meanwhile, Shakira made efforts to reconnect with Lukee. She wrote him a heartfelt letter apologizing for her past behavior and promising to do better. While Lukee appreciated her sincerity, he had moved on with his new wife. However, he allowed Shakira to visit Malik, and they slowly rebuilt a co-parenting relationship. Shakira's story gained attention in her community. She was invited to speak at events, where she shared her journey from laziness and neglect to hard work and redemption. Her speeches inspired many, especially young women, to take responsibility for their lives. One day, Shakira stood in front of a crowd at a community hall. She wore a fitted blue dress and styled her weaving into neat cornrows. As she spoke, the audience listened intently. "My life was a mess," she admitted. "But I learned that it's never too late to change. Discipline, hard work, and faith can transform even the most hopeless situations." The crowd erupted in applause. Shakira smiled, knowing her journey had a purpose. As Shakira's life continued to improve, her visits to Malik became a driving force for her growth. Though Lukee was initially hesitant, he allowed Shakira to spend time with their son on weekends. Malik, now 4 years old, was a curious and lively child with a striking resemblance to his father. During her visits, Shakira made an effort to show Malik a better version of herself. She would braid her hair neatly, wear clean and colorful dresses, and bring him small gifts. One day, as they played together at the park, Malik asked, "Mama, why don't you live with us anymore?" The question pierced her heart. "Because Mama made some mistakes," Shakira said softly, holding his tiny hand. "But I'm working very hard to make things better." Her time with Malik motivated her to push further in her personal and professional life. She dreamed of one day being able to provide for him in ways she never could before. Shakira's cleaning business flourished beyond her expectations. She gained more clients, expanded her services, and even started a YouTube channel where she shared cleaning tips and motivational talks. Her videos, featuring her transformation story, garnered thousands of views and inspired people from all walks of life. One day, she was invited to a popular morning show to discuss her journey. Dressed in a tailored red dress with her hair styled in sleek cornrows, Shakira confidently shared her story with the host. "I used to blame everyone else for my problems," she said. "But the truth is, change starts within. I had to take responsibility for my life, and now I'm happier and stronger because of it." The interview went viral, and Shakira became a household name in her community. People admired her resilience and determination. Shakira's success didn't erase the pain of her past, but it gave her the courage to seek forgiveness and make amends. She wrote a heartfelt letter to Lukee's new wife, Anita, apologizing for the challenges she caused and thanking her for being a good stepmother to Malik. Anita, who had been wary of Shakira at first, was moved by the letter. She invited Shakira over for a cup of tea, and the two women talked openly for the first time. "I admire what you've done with your life," Anita said. "It takes a lot of strength to change the way you have." Shakira smiled. "Thank you for being there for Malik. I'll always be grateful." This conversation marked a turning point. Shakira no longer saw Anita as a rival but as a partner in raising Malik. Years later, Shakira's life had transformed completely. She owned a successful cleaning business with multiple branches, was a sought-after motivational speaker, and had written a best-selling book titled From Chaos to Clarity: My Journey to Redemption. On Malik's 7th birthday, Shakira organized a surprise party at her home. The house was spotless, decorated with balloons and banners, and filled with laughter. Lukee, Anita, and Malik's friends joined in the celebration, standing by the cake. Malik hugged Shakira and said, "Mama, I'm so proud of you." Tears welled up in her eyes. "Thank you, my son. Everything I've done is for you." As the party continued, Shakira looked around at the people who had supported her journey. She realized that her past mistakes had shaped her into the strong, independent woman she had become. Shakira's story became a beacon of hope for many. She often shared these lessons in her speeches.
Take responsibility. Blaming others only prolongs the problem. True change begins with self-reflection. Never stop growing. Every day is an opportunity to improve yourself and your circumstances. Forgive and move forward. Holding on to grudges hinders growth. Forgiveness frees you to focus on the future.
As she stood before another crowd, dressed in a vibrant green dress with her hair styled elegantly, Shakira smiled and said,
"If I can change, so can you. It's never too late to rewrite your story." This story reminds us that no matter how messy life gets, there's always a chance to start fresh, rebuild, and find purpose. It's never too late to rewrite your story. Thank you for watching this inspiring journey of growth and redemption. If this story touched your heart or gave you hope, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Join us for more powerful stories that inspire, teach, and uplift. And remember, you can always start over and become the best version of yourself.